Because a year ago, here in Davos, the big topic was how the US Inflation Reduction Act was revolutionary. I was just wondering, are we about to see any sort of concrete action from governments to ensure that we can feed the world going forward?
I don't know. I'm not holding my breath for that. The amount of R&D that goes into agriculture is amazingly small, given how important food is. You know, it's probably the most taken for granted resource on Earth, except, of course, amongst those people who don't have enough food.
Yeah.
But I think we have the ability, you know, again, there's a lot of technology. Now it's really about adoption of technology. And I'm not sure we need tons of government subsidies, but we need clear regulatory pathways. And I think we also need to have a close partnership between agriculture technology companies and the environmentalists. Because oftentimes, historically, those groups have been, you know, kind of opposing each other. And we need to find a way to have a better dialogue, because we simply can't feed the 8 billion people, much less the 10 billion people, going back to historical farming methods. That's a nice ideal, but it's not achievable. And so making progress on these things is vital, both for feeding people and making sure we have food, but also for the environment.
Chris, you seem to be agreeing with what Bill is saying.
Yeah. I also am not holding my breath. I mean, we need more government support, but, you know, I think about it maybe in a similar way to you, Bill. It's all about capital allocation. If we look at the amount of resources and energy and focus in the energy market versus ag, it is different planets. If you look at the societal benefit, if you look at the sustainable benefit, it's actually more tilted towards needing to invest in ag and food in the value chain. And so we need to rebalance and reallocate our resources, which includes our capital, to do that. The thing that I would just emphasize, I can't say it enough, is modernization of our regulatory frameworks. The technologies exist to replace chemistry with better biological solutions, to reduce fertilizer by 20 to 50% across the board. It's there. We don't have to invent the rocket science. We've got to get it deployed. And the partners are all willing to work together. We've got to get the regulatory and federal agencies to help foster that partnership. And there's a way to do it, and I think we're at that tipping point to what Bill said earlier. So it's hopefully we can all work together, but I'm not, you know, holding my breath that the government is going to be the unlock of that.
But Kees, just to finish this conversation, do you think that there is a lack of awareness from governments that this is something that they also need to pay attention to, particularly as we see extreme weather events just propping up?
I don't think it's a lack of awareness. It's not an easy roadmap. So basically, whether it's plants or animals or insects, there are three major roadmaps that have something to do with biology, something to do with nutrition, whether it's soil or feeds, and something to do with the technology to produce and process. And these are long roadmaps. And I fully agree with the two colleagues, is that the scientific support to invest in these roadmaps together with institutions and businesses is just way too small compared to other industries. But if a lot more investments would be done in the research and scientific roadmaps of all three at the same time, they will converge in a food system that will be able to produce much more nutrition with a far less and smaller footprint. We always call it the pathway to low footprint, no footprint proteins. And it is possible. It is possible, but they extend 4, 5, 10, 15 years. And that, I think, is the answer to your question. It's not so much awareness. It is which parties and which policymakers can oversee such timelines. But together, if we keep investing in the science behind biology, nutrition, and the technologies to produce and process, I have no doubt the food system will be able to produce far more at a far better footprint.